The Franco-Prussian War continues. Hello, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745, and we're going to be continuing the free DLC for Strategic Command American Civil War, the Franco-Prussian War scenario. Now, very soon, they're going to be releasing I think it's a 5-pack of new wars for this game as a paid DLC. But yeah, you can check this out, and if you're interested in some of these other 19th century wars that are often overlooked, particularly in the computer war game space, you can with this game. All right, we're going to continue. Now we've got mud. We can see mud everywhere. So since nothing's going to hardly move much, this is going to be a very good turn to see about reinforcing some units here. So we're going to some degree cause or enact a pause here. I am curious about supply here. Okay, if we don't take malt mineral, I don't know. All right, then because I was wondering about moving him up to there. That is a concern. Now here, that would be a good attack, but let's just see. Yeah, that would be a good attack, but I don't know. These forces are mostly intact, so I think we should move them up. Okay, so they can push down to here, still stay in supply. All right, well, let's look at supply here as well. Okay, well, they're out of supply. Next turn they'll have some supply there. So now part of my plan was, of course, to connect through in other places, but we're going to move back there, including down here. Okay, we've got to I think getting that road would have been better because it gives us rail links or road links through to here. Now, before we totally spend all of our money on reinforcing a bunch of really damaged units, let's see what we can move up here effectively. Okay, that is where Paris is. Here we're moving along this rail link here, but we could pick up a bit of a flanking element. Well, hold it. Okay. You can move up to here. You can move along here. Oh, good. I want to move there too. Yep. As fast as it could. Those forces are in good shape. They're in pretty good shape. I think that needs to... Again, supply. Okay, so if we come through here, come up here. Just wanting to isolate this so we don't see with the rail links popping up of forces. Yeah. Cut the rails, winning where we can. Because that's what gave us, there's a cavalry unit there. Gave us that problem. So we'll keep in mind what forces we want to move up along, which links. Get out of the forest. Well, even though he's in real bad shape, I think we want to push there. Now here, that would be very costly, but doable. We have 700 points. Okay, well, yeah, I think now is the time to see about getting these guys forward. Well, with them here, we can actually come to here. So yeah, I often don't like moving them to the actual front lines because they show up as, because we can see readiness 74 and morale 98, so that's very good condition, but we can see now they're down at 64 readiness and 78 or 79 morale. So it's just not as good, and it would be better if I thought we were going to be attacked to show up here, I would say. But I just don't see them having the forces ready to move up and attack this next turn significantly. And if they do walk up this way through the mud, they might be able to get to here, but they're coming across the river. So I think we're okay there. And up here, I think, yes. Koblenz. Let's move you. You're going to be a lot cheaper. But now, some of these smaller forces here, we have to have some concern about partisans popping up, I understand. And, keeping the supply lines open. So let's move here. Now we're going to keep them along on the railway so that if we're going to try to use the railways as much as we can to deal with some of the partisan situation, be able to move to it as needed. Okay, well, see, these guys move south. Okay, we can't. We have to come supply through here. Looking at supplying these guys in here. One road there, one road there. We'll get that road. So okay, so you go north. I probably moved you south. You go this way. We want to get through these roads. Now, talk about another game, and sort of a remark. One of my friends who helped me play some of the live videos, I really liked playing with him. the new IKB. Really good guy. He works on the railway, at least last I heard. I know they were doing some union negotiations in Britain. Out on the tracks is where he works, literally on the railways, not one of the guys in the trains or one of the people back at ticketing or whatever. No, he's one of the guys out on the railway. But he loves railway history. He loves military railways and how railways affect society, and we talked a lot about it in those episodes. Yeah, there's definitely gameplay coverage, but it's as much him and I talking about the impact on railways, on history, and unfortunately, the series didn't do very well, so we haven't really continued it. But I really enjoyed making it, talking about the subject. I think very, very important elements. Now, and that's what, I'm looking here and I'm seeing where railways are going, where they're not going, and supply and function, which from 1870s through to 1940, let's say, a lot more railway was deployed into particularly this region, but maybe we could say that everywhere in the world, because a lot of places went from zero to a few railway connections, and how logistically important it is. And if I didn't mention, we playing the game Railway Empire, and so there are some very nice historical sort of settings. I mean, it's very fictitious in that we're just building these railroads, but it's sort of setting up there. And the new IKB, if you don't get the reference to the name, is new. What is it? Izzard? No, something. No, not. Maybe it is that. Kingdom Brunel. Brunel is, I know his last name. It starts with an I. Maybe it's Izzard. I don't know. One of those sort of 19th century biblical type names. Kingdom Brunel. I'm blanking on getting his first name right. Is what he named himself after. And if you know about the history of Brunel and industrial development, particularly railway, but other industrial development in Britain, a very, very key feature. That's what he based his screen name on. And so I recommend looking at some of those videos if you're interested in talk about railways. And there is a France scenario DLC that you can buy for the game, and it sort of covers, and you sort of have a pass or a militant path and a sort of social development, industrial development, but not military path that you can sort of choose between. Spoiler, the military one is sort of building fortifications and what along the border, and the not one, you sort of, you build, you don't actually build, but you bring in supplies to build, needed to build the Eiffel Tower. Is sort of how they look at that. But you can look at how a little more detailed of how France is looking at for and this is post this sort of period that this happens in, but using railways as a military objective of moving troops up and down. And you can see at times, I don't know whether it is just geography and economic importance that gets a railway to Epinal and up into here, but not coming through all of these hills, or is it government programs to keep this area from being railway developed at the time, but have railways down here with then building combination of railways and fortresses and whatnot to keep France secure, and how that can all play into it. Now, my friend asked, he was watching stream of me playing a War in the East too. And I was talking about how you can leave some of the stuff automated, like the air war, which I'm doing partially because I just don't know it terribly well. I know sort of how to handle some of it, but I haven't really dug deep into it to play it competently. And I'm also trying to keep the live stream going. I know we're sort of paused here, but and keep it entertaining. So don't want to spend half an hour, 40 minutes just doing all the railway micromanaging or the supply micromanaging for the units. And his question, because he caught the live stream, was can you automate the combat for the player side and just do the supply management? Because he would be interested in a supply management game, supplying particularly the Germans on the Eastern Front through getting railways up and going, making sure that you have stockpiles of supplies for planned offensives and whatnot, and, be given as the AI is playing, saying we need a supply depot, here, or need to build up supplies, when spring comes, this is where we're going to do our offensive or whatever. He would really enjoy playing that game, and I wouldn't mind it either. It probably wouldn't be the game I would want to play most, but it does hold some interest. But what we can really see here is the impact of, if you will, the terrain on the war. And I don't mean just the hills and the forests, but the human terrain that has grown up around them: railways, roadways, industries, mines, all of that, and how that does impact how warfare happens. Okay, well, they can't. I was going to hope to. Well, they can. Right. Get them. Well, if they can't make it, let's continue to move up. Who else? Because there were a few others like back here, particularly bad shape units. The turn that you can only move one in. I'm not paying attention to what the exact. I know there is a sort of time limit on this game. And the higher or the stronger the HQs are, the more they will support and supply. Yeah, I want to keep him along the road. Okay, well, he can't be, and he can't be reinforced. Okay, so, well, he's in good shape. And now do I continue to push this way, or I guess I come up here just to make sure the supply flows a little better through and up to here and around through these places as we push up, bypassing the fortresses. We got those guys as moved as far forward, but not that. Okay, good. Okay, he's at 6, so let's now just 1. Okay, down here. This is annoying down here still with him, and I want to scoop up that. So can we? Right there like that. Use the train. That's sort of what I mean. Do things like that for pop-ups of any guerrilla type operations. Oh, up here. Okay, he is in the worst shape, so let's see what we can do. And then sort of use up the last of our forces, making this a little better, because that cavalry unit, it's in a secondary supply situation here, so it's not completely drying up. And I just partially because we were out of reinforcement points, move them up there, which once we take there will get us back into supply setup. All right. Oh, and they have announced, and I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what Calypso Games, German company, on making Railway Empire 2. I'm looking forward to it. I find it fun to plan the out the railways and whatnot, but I'm really appreciative of that they Frank Tour activity in Aragon. Okay, that's the guerrillas. Oh, there we go. Aragon Forest. Germany collects 496 MPP. Nope, they take Verdun. Annoying. Means we're going to have to turn around some of our forces. Okay, defensive artillery, good. Okay. Basically that attack was not very useful to them. Okay, we've got a bunch of landwehr brigades. Okay, yep. They just know. Okay, we can place them in there. But I don't know that it really matters much because this distance does not seem. But you want to, don't want to put them there. You want to put them on a railway so that they can be moved next turn immediately to somewhere. Was going to say to the front, but it might be like moving back on Verdun here. Because we could maybe move it railway to one of those spots as it is, so we'll have to keep that in mind. All right, well. Once we take that, we'll be able to look at some supply through there. We'll think about that a bit. Now over here we have 4 artillery shells. I think we're going to use all of them. I don't see a reason not to. Well, I really wish he moved up next to those guys. That we had a just move up and make contact there. So you move there, take that. Fully taking out the unit. Artillery pieces up as close as possible. Might have been able to make an attack there, but I don't think it was going to be overly successful. Now down here, 4, 5, 4, 5, 3, 6. Okay, that looks like the best one to open with. Came out just as expected. Alright, well, they went down. These guys are in our best shape. Oh, okay, good. Now down here, they can't get to the front this turn. Probably made a mistake of moving them. Okay, well, they were able to bug out. Well, I can get to there. Now down here, okay, so that now, we'll see what that unit does. But we can see roadways coming down through this way to supply through here, roadways coming across here, supplying into here. Here, let's look at supply. This is still okay, so we're not doing so well. Next turn, okay, we'll get to there and get that at least. Now we have this all connected. All roads through connected up through to here. We will be getting roads coming down through here, so I think we will move on this town. Well, just good to get as much supply and whatnot connected up for it to calculate. Now up here, because I do want to deal with this pesky unit. Well, wanted to crush it, not just send it over to the Belgian border to hide out there. Yes, I am feeling, shall we say, impetus to delude our main thrust of axis here, but try to keep it in mind. So he did not fire, so you can move all the way to here. That's good. Now these guys, let's do what we can here for them. Yeah, at some point, well, we're not really on a good town to like well, we are on the railway line, so we could rail up, but don't think yet. Nope, we're going to keep you on the rail lines. Well, if he moves off Verdun, it'll actually be better for us. So, I'm not going to shift more of these forces his way. Just get out of the forest. Because to a point, yeah, sure, we want all of the MPP from holding, more towns, and we want to deny it to the enemy, so that they're not holding towns. That's true. That's an element of the game, element of the war. Industry, manpower, whatnot, food. But we do have, you're in particularly bad shape, so we'll, but the goal right now is to surround Paris. That's where we win. That's where they would have won historically. If Paris is not surrounded, Paris is allowed to continue to function. There's always the public perception, the military perception that the war can continue to be fought. But since, it's been described, Paris is France and whatnot. And if you can't hold Paris, if you can't relieve Paris, you've lost. Especially if the war isn't over the existence of France. It's over where the borders are going to be or something of France. You build back up and you get ready for round 5 or round 10 or whatever the next war that happens. Do better next time kind of thing. And that's just what you need to do. Well, I think we're going to try to keep these somewhat short. So thanks so much for watching. Hope I've earned you hitting that like button. See you next time for more historical gaming.